Hey everyone, welcome to the tutorial about how to set up your own lead ads. If you're watching this video, I'm really excited to show this to you. I do not have a script down here or anything like that. This is going to be off the cuff. This is exactly how we would set up the ads if we were doing it for you. At least to some degree, right? There are some things that we're going to hold back for that webinar that you can get registered for. And then there are some other things too that won't apply to you because you wouldn't have the tools in place to do that. So I'm going to show you how we would set these ads up if we were just running them for you, and the easiest way for you to do that so that you can avoid paying those fees to your agency instead, and instead reinvest them back into your business. Look forward to any comments and stuff like that. I'll leave my email and that kind of thing at the bottom of the video so that you can reach out to me if you want to with questions. But better obviously to be a part of that webinar so you can get the questions answered live and things like that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys exactly how we would do that. So, oh, and just a caveat. It is summertime. My kids are home. I work from home, as you can tell. And the door is right there, and they may come bursting in here at some point. So you may meet any of my three kids, Owen, Marlo, or Everly. We have twin daughters that are 7 and, well, about to be 7. And our son is 8. So just in case you meet them, you'll know ahead of time. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, now this is an ad account that I've created specifically for this purpose. Okay, so it's a blank ad account. It doesn't have anything in it. We're not hiding anything, but I wanted to kind of start from a blank slate. So what we're going to do is actually log out, so that it would be kind of like what you would see. So log out of Facebook on this other window over here. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so when you go to your web browser, hold on, let me put my screen in here so you guys can see me a little bit. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so when you guys are logging in, you're going to go to business.facebook.com. It doesn't need any of this extra stuff. That's all stuff from, from it being me. So let's just do that. There we go. Okay, so this is what your page will look like. You're going to look at login using Facebook. All right, so I'm going to put my stuff in here. Yes, that is my personal email. Um, whoops. Oh, and I will make mistakes during this too, like typing mistakes and stuff. This is not edited. This is going to be raw video, and obviously we have two-factor authentication set up. So give me just 1 second. 147536. I also have a mic right down here that you can't see, so it's going to get in my way a little bit also. All right, so it's going to finish logging me in here. There are major differences between the places that you can run ads on Meta. You have options for boosted posts. Those are not ads. It's something very different. The audience usage is very, like the variations for audiences are very small. It's not going to reach enough frequency to generate results. And then you have Ad Center. You should also not use that. It's a very limited and very function poor version of Ads Manager. So what we want to do is we want to see you log into this business.facebook.com. You're going to have your business up there. Obviously, that's Hype Consulting, Hype Digital, our business. And then you're going to click on Ads Manager right here. And it's probably going to take me to some account that we're not going to use today, but it's okay. Nope, it didn't. It took me to one, which is great. Okay. So this is where you're going to start up from. You're not going to have anything in here, and that's okay. So we're going to show you exactly what they do. Now, I can't, I'm not going to, again, I'm not bad mouthing any agencies for what they do. There's a large number of them, though, on here that set their ads up this way. Before we do this, though, I'm also going to pull over my ClubOS here, and show you how we do this. So when you log into ClubOS, you're going to have this dashboard up like so. You're going to go down to My Club and go to Location Settings. You go all the way over to Facebook Lead Ads. This needs to be set up. If it's not set up, you have a problem. The Facebook leads are not going to come in here. You should have a thing. If you don't have it, I'm not going to unlink my page because it's a pain to get it back in place. You should have a button that says like log into Facebook. And then you have to choose the location that you're syncing and so on and so on. And then this is what it should look like when it's added. And you see the page was added. Mine was added 2 years ago. So, anyways, that's what it looks like on ClubOS when you do that. It needs to look like this, or you're not going to be successful. It's going to be really, really painful to try and get your leads out of Facebook. So, okay. So, account number one. So, to start out, we're going to create an ad campaign. So, you click this green button right here. You have a bunch of options here. Awareness is exactly what it sounds like. I want people to be aware of my business. I don't feel like they are, and that's everyone actually, but that's what that is. Traffic is exactly what it sounds like. I want people to go to my website. I don't care what action they take. I just want them to go there. Okay. Also, not what we're looking for. Engagement, things like more video views or purchases through messaging, stuff like that. You can see all the little descriptions over here out to the right. Um, you're never going to use app promotion, and you guys are not going to be set up to use conversions via sales. So we're going to be doing leads today. So this is collecting leads for your business or brand. And again, there are different versions of Ads Manager. So yours may not look exactly the same as mine, but it should be close enough that you should be able to make the leap from what I'm showing you to what you can do. So leads, and then hit continue. Um, do not use the recommended settings. I can't tell you if the other agencies do that. Don't do it. We're going to do a manual leads campaign this time. If you really didn't know what you were doing and you were doing it by yourself, that might not be a bad way to go, but that's not what I would do if you have someone like me showing you how to do it. So we like to name our campaigns. So let's just call this Fall Sale Leads Campaign. Okay. And then we're going to not touch this. This is what type of buying you want. Leave it as auction. Advantage campaign budget. This is really only useful if you are having multiple ad sets underneath. With Facebook, you have campaign level, then ad set level, and then ad. This is what do I want to do with my ads? Ad set is who do I want to see it and how long do I want it to run? And then you have the ad, which is what do I want to show them. So in this case, this isn't really all that useful, but Meta has this really weird way of prioritizing campaigns that use their tools. So we're going to go ahead and turn that on. What this means is that we're going to set the budget at the campaign level, not at the ad set level. Those are your two choices. You can do either one. They're both acceptable. Let's just say that we've got $1,000 budget. So $30 a day, give or take, right? So we're going to go with that. Don't do any of this. Don't schedule your budget increase. This is a way to increase additional budget on top of what you've already allotted here. So, but let's make an example. Let's say that halfway through the campaign, you were just like slaying it and you want to add some more budget, throw some more gasoline on the fire. You can schedule the budget increase here. You can schedule the start date. So maybe, it's like October the 1st. And then you can tell it when to end. So we're going to end it October the 31st, and we want to increase the daily budget by value of $10. Okay. So you can put that in there like that. And what happens is it will run your $30 a day budget all the way up until October the 1st, and then it will automatically switch to a $40 a day budget. You don't have to do anything. We're going to remove that though, because we don't want to do that. Not for this purposes anyway. You are not going to be doing an A/B test, and you are not a special ad category. That's not going to apply to Anytime Fitness. So you can hit next. Again, we looked at, I don't like using the static naming stuff. So we're going to call this like lead ad V1, or something like that. Whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. So you got a whole lot of options here. You got website and instant forms where you can send them both to a landing page and to a form. You got just website only, website and phone calls, instant forms. You've got Messenger, instant forms and Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp calls, and app. For this purpose, we're going to be filling out instant forms. To my knowledge, the preferred vendors that do run this type of ad, which is several of them, this is what they do. They're not doing something different. So we're going to run instant forms. Okay, so the Facebook page, we're going to use mine. So Commerce, Texas. There we go. This is my Facebook page. I have accepted Meta's lead ads terms for this page already. If you haven't, it's going to make you read them and accept them. It's really not hard. You're just going to click the little button that says you accept it. Okay. Moving on, performance goal. Maximize number of leads or maximize number of conversion leads. This sounds like what you would want, but you're not going to have any signals to provide Meta that are going to give it any idea of who's going to convert. So it's not the best choice for you in this situation. If you have back-end data that you're providing to Meta like we do, then that's fine. But if you don't, then you have to choose this. Otherwise, Meta is going to try to optimize based on data it doesn't have. That's not a good situation. You don't want that. So maximize number of leads. Yeah, this is grayed out. You can't do anything with that there. There's no other options here. Dynamic creative. All right. Little trick of the trade here, right? We're going to turn this on. You can now provide creative elements such as images and headlines that will be used to automatically generate variations for your audience, certain variations, blah, 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 blah. Continue. Okay. You'll know what this means in just a minute after we get to the ad level. Okay. Budget and schedule. All right. This is going to be for the fall campaigns. We want it to start September the 1st. And just a little tidbit about 3 years ago, we did a study to decide how long we should leave our ads running for in a single flight. An ad flight is when the ad starts until when it ends. Corporate had previously been running 30-day flights, and we had two, and we thought that was the best thing, right? You have 30-day offers in your gym. Hey, this month our sale is join for $1. Next month it's free month, with training, whatever you want it to be, right? Well, we did a long-term attribution study, and it turns out that 30 days is not the right time. 75 is actually about the right time, at least based on our latest our attribution study at the time. We're doing them right now, but we don't have the results in yet of that. But so at the time of 75, we thought that was a weird interval, so we went with 60. And results on Facebook are a bell curve, meaning they start slow, they ramp up, and they eventually start coming back down again. Well, day 60 tends to be somewhere right after the peak. So your average cost per result is still falling. So you're getting cheaper and cheaper results on average, but it's not the peak. You don't want to turn it off at the peak because your average is still going down. So there's a sweet spot. It's about 75 days, but that's kind of a weird interval to run a sale. And so we went with 60. So we're going to run these for 60 days. I like to start mine at 9 a.m. So I'm going to do that. And I like to end them at 6 p.m. Close business, right? If you want to make it like 9 a.m. to 8:59, 8:59 a.m. on November the 1st because you're planning to start a new ad flight, great, you can do that too. But like I said, for me, I always stop them the month before. That means I'm not going to have any ads with the old sale running past close of business on that last day. So I like that. There's nothing else that you can do right here. Okay, audience controls. This is going to decide where your ads go. So with this one, it defaults to United States. If you guys have ever seen on the forums some of those people complaining about seeing ads from Florida and they're in Texas and so on and so on, that means that their advertiser left this United States in the targeting. So we're going to do anytime fitness commerce. Let's see if that comes up. Sometimes they will come up. It didn't. Not surprised. Small town. So we're going to use the exact address, 2212 Live Oak Street. Still not there. Commerce. There we go. Commerce, Texas. Okay, that's me. Now you'll notice that the default is that United States went away. That should happen for you. You can also click browse, or I'm sorry, this little down arrow right here, and it'll show you the area that it's targeting. Okay, so currently that's a 10-mile radius. Now there is another club in Greenville, Texas. It used to be mine, but it's not mine anymore. There's also another club in Sulphur Springs. Those are the two closest clubs to me. I think 10 miles is fine for this, but I'm going to go ahead and shorten it down just to 8, just to make sure they don't overlap any of their trade areas, okay? I do happen to know that there's a little city right here called Campbell, and instead of driving to Greenville, they all come to me. So if I were making these ads really for me, I would include like a little bubble over Campbell, which you could do like this. Campbell, Texas. Mm, no, that's not it. Okay, well, the zip code is 75422. How about that? You can always do that. Poof, there we go. Campbell's included. There's a difference between addresses and zip codes, but for the purposes of this, um, well, you know what? That's fine. So the difference between addresses and zip codes is this, or sorry, addresses with radiuses, I should say radiuses and zip codes. You can also drop pins, like if you know that, hey, there's a group of people, like I actually live in Cooper, Texas. So there's a group of people that join from here. I can drop a pin there, and then I can go change the mile radius down to 5, and I can add that in, right? So I can do those things. Here's the difference. Radiuses include anybody whose device pings within inside that radius. So somebody, this is Highway 24 for me going right here. Here's a better example. This is how Interstate 30. This runs like the length of the country, literally. So anybody driving on I-30 coming through here, if I have a radius that crosses the highway, this one just barely maybe crosses, right? But if I have anyone within that radius that's driving on this highway, I'm going to target them. They're going to get my ads potentially. Now, the driver hopefully is watching the road, but the passengers might potentially get the ads. Zip codes are based on addresses only and tend to be people that live in the area. It's a little bit smaller targeting for that. Now, you'll notice here, Meta is going to also give me an estimated audience size. That's not very big, but it's not a very big place where I live. So there's only 10,000 people in commerce. So I'm getting commerce plus, another 6,000 to 9,000 people. So you can see the more options here. You can set minimum age for your ads. Meta has recently changed it where right here you can only change it to 25 as your minimum age. So if you want to do that, you can do that. I'm not going to. We have people that are in college in commerce and they're useful people. We like to take their money. And so I'm going to leave that there. You can make an audience suggestion here if you like, which is it gives you a little bit more range control. Like maybe I don't want anybody who's an insurance member to see these ads. So I'm going to go to 64, right? So that's going to exclude them. Uh-oh, now look, 13 to 16,000. So my audience has shrunk. There's 3,000 people that are over the age of 65 that are going to be targeted. So you can do that. You can absolutely do that. I don't recommend any detailed targeting like interests like gyms or whatever like that ever, honestly, because I don't know about you, but the last time that I updated my interests on Facebook was about 2013. So not really useful there are things that are useful in here, but not for Anytime Fitness and not for our purposes. You can save this audience if you want to. If you save it, you can give it a name and save it. And then when you come back later to build other ads, you don't have to redo all this. You can just click Use Saved Audience. Now, this one doesn't have any, but it would show up right here. I'm not going to do that because this is a blank account for us. So at any rate, it would show up in here and you could call it like lead ad audience or whatever you want to call it, right? So let's just say that I'm happy with this targeting. I've got an 8 mile bubble around my club. I've got this zip code. And then I've also got a 5 mile bubble around Cooper, Texas. Areas where there are no people living, like in the middle of this lake right here, doesn't matter, right? Now you would get boaters in theory, but that's okay because they probably live somewhere nearby. You can also do things like this. You can exclude, so you can drop a pin if you really wanted to be thorough, which is not necessary in my opinion, but you could be really thorough and you could drop this down to like 5 miles. And see, I'm now excluding part of that lake. So you can increase the radius, but then you might lose some of this, anybody that lives in here. Now, granted, this is all farmland, so I just happen to know that. So there's not a lot of people that live here, but you can reverse exclude that way if that's something that you want to do. So, okay, we're going to leave it just like that, and then we're going to keep going down here. This is a new thing, Advantage Audience. I don't like it, but it doesn't matter because Meta is using it now. So, placements. You can choose where your ads are placed. If you click Edit, Advantage Plus Placements, this is recommended. Great. You can also choose Manual. If you choose Manual, it gives the option to choose where your ads will be displayed. Some ads only display in certain places, so like Threads and Messenger are not available here. Threads is Meta's version of Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. So I do think this is going to be a really useful place to advertise eventually. But this type of ad doesn't run there, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to leave that alone. We're going to let Meta have their thing. If you remember, generally speaking, back to what I said, if Meta has a tool that's like a fancy tool or like an AI tool, using it gets you better results because they want to incentivize people to use their products. And I will tell you too that just in case there are some of you watching this that are like not believers in Meta and they think that they're just out to get their money, I actually had a conversation with a former supervisor in the engineering department at Meta the other day, and he actually let me know that the company-wide goal is actually to increase conversion, meaning whatever you tell Meta you want, their goal is to get you more of it. And the reason they do that is because they want you to spend more, because they think that if they get you better and more results, you'll spend more money. So his job actually, when he was working there as a supervisor in the engineering department, was to build the framework to reward the engineers for building products that increased conversion for advertising clients. It's a pretty good job. So anyway, so we're going to click next. All right, so now we've got our campaign and our ad set built, and now we're on to the ad. So like, let's just call this ad one. It doesn't really matter what you call it. In this case, we're only going to have the one campaign. If you have an Instagram account, it needs to be right here. Otherwise, your ads won't run on Instagram. And that's important because a percentage of your results will come from Instagram. If it's not linked right here, you're going to have to get either corporate to pair the Instagram and business account for you, or you may be able to do it yourself. You can ask ChatGPT, you can search Facebook for some help. It's not difficult, actually, but it does need to be done so that your Instagram account will show up right here. Okay, single image or video, one image or video or a slideshow with multiple images. That's what we're going to do. That's the only other option that you have in this campaign. Multi-advertiser ads, terrible idea. Hey, let's show my ad alongside other ads in the same unit to help people find businesses that are personalized to them. It sounds like a good idea. We've never found it to be useful, so we uncheck that. All right, now you get to the dynamic creative portion. Remember we talked about that earlier? I told you you'd figure that out in a couple of minutes. That's this. Okay, so let's select images. Okay, you can use images from your page, from your Instagram, or ones that you've uploaded. So in this case, we're going to go to the page. Okay, so this is my club. So that's my club. That's my manager. Or actually, that's my trainer. I take that back. I'm sorry. That doesn't look like a very good one. Let's do this one. Let's show a training client. That's not in my club. That's a Sochi post. Let's see if there's some other ones that are good. And oh yeah, here's some. And I'll use that one and this one. You can pick up to 10 of them. Okay. The more you pick, here's the important thing. The more you pick, the more you have to spend to justify it. If you give Facebook 10 images and 10 videos to select from, and your budget is only $200 a month, or shoot, $500 a month, it won't have enough money to run all of those. So don't do that. There's not really like a calculable thing. I'll tell you that for budgets between 500 and 1,000, we use 4 images and 4 videos. That's what Hype does. So let's go with 4. Keep with my example there. Then we can select videos. Go to my page. You can also upload them. So you can create a video. You can upload the corporate videos if you want to. So let's see what it loads here. Okay, so there's some treadmill people. Here's one of the Sochi posts. We'll do that. Somebody working out. This is also in my gym. Also in my gym. Now I'm going to put more in here than 4, and I'll show you why. Okay, so you can edit the media here if you want to. Okay, I'm happy with that image. Yep, that one's fine too. We want to show people working out. Never, never advertise images of your empty gym. That is just like advertising an empty restaurant, right? Oh, there's nobody there. It must be terrible, right? How many restaurants do you stop at for lunch when you drive by at noon and there's nobody in the parking lot? No, you assume that it's terrible. Don't post pictures of empty gyms. It's great after a remodel, like check out our new gym, but don't advertise with that. Wait until you get people in the gym, take those photos and advertise with those. All right, so the videos. So you can click edit video right here and it'll come up and we can play it. Okay. Not really exciting, but good enough, right? So here's a corporate one. Okay. We know that's going to be pretty good. You can also edit them in here, but I find that it's kind of not useful. Okay, that's fine. It's, it's John. Okay, that one was fine. Okay. All right. So I've got six videos here or five videos. I don't need five of them. This was the most boring, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. That's my manager's name. Okay, so we've got four images, four videos. You want to make sure that you have this checked. That means it's going to optimize these based on each person. Meaning, so if they show it on a different placement, it's going to change the way that the ad image or video is set in aspect ratio. So, like for Instagram, it'll show square, it'll show vertical for Facebook or for stories or reels, and then it will show horizontal for desktop feed. So it changes based on the individual person where they're looking. It also it's really smart. So there's a woman here, there's a woman here, there's a man here. There's a man in this video, man in this video, woman in this one. It will actually play them, generally speaking, for the correct audience, right? So if the female video starts working really well with females, then it'll show that. If it's the female video that works better with males, it'll show that. Okay, so primary text. Now you can go through all the things that you want to do here. Um, I'm just making an example, so I'm not going to make it like super amazing and wonderful. So let's go with this. So like, hey, Commerce, Texas, we are offering. No, I hate this. I'm sorry. I hate that. This is one of the mistakes. I hate call outs like that. Okay, right now you can join Anytime Fitness for just $1. Oop, boy, there's my typo. For soot, that's definitely not just. So just $1. It's time you prioritized yourself and take a step to a healthier you. You'll, whoops, let's do the apostrophe. You'll get 24/7 access. Whoops, not 4/7 access. That wouldn't make very much sense, would it? 24/7 access. Um, Coaches who care. Geez, it is like cutting off all my letters. Coaches who care. Support in the AF app. That didn't work. As you can see, like I said, I was going to make mistakes. And monthly body scans to show your progress. Click below. Okay, and you can actually put emojis in here. I'm not doing that for this purposes because I'm not going to run this ad actually, but okay, so you can also add extra texts here. In this case, I don't recommend that. I highly recommend that you do not use the AI variations here. That has not gone well for us. It takes too many liberties as far as we can tell. Headline at the very bottom might be join for $1. Okay. And then let's go back up here. All right, call to action. Ignore the description and the display link. those things, Meta hides those most of the time, so it's not worth you putting it in there. So book now is not relevant. Learn more, maybe. Sign up. It's going to make you do that on these. On other ads, you can do other ones that make sense. But in this case, it's going to give you that default. I would not add another option. All right, so we're going to create a form. Let me show you how to do this from start to finish. And we're going to do this. We're going to call it join for $1. Okay, two choices here. More volume, higher intent. I would tell you that higher intent is going to work better, but I haven't seen any evidence that that's true. So if you click this, require leads to verify their phone number with a one-time passcode, nobody will fill out your form. I promise. Most people are not going to take that extra step to two-factor authenticate their lead form. So I wouldn't do that. You can do rich creative. It integrates your company's imaging and messaging, optional about us, and product detail and reviews. Uh, Again, I wouldn't bother with that. This is really important. You want to make sure that the sharing settings are set to open. You want this form to be able to be shared between people. So if they have a friend they want to invite, they can do that. Allow Meta to adjust or remove form elements based on people remote. I wouldn't do this either because you don't want it to remove stuff that you want to make sure are in there. So we're going to click next. Background image optional. This is an absolute must. Now, I don't know why it is giving me this red thingy right here. Oh, is it because of that? There we go. All right, so upload image. There's my daughters right there, right? Okay, I want to go to our file here. We've got stock images. We'll use one of these covers. How about this? Okay, so we've got an image now that's Anytime Fitness. It can be anything you want. I would suggest it being Anytime Fitness, though, obviously. Join for $1 to time. Okay. You can do a paragraph or a list here. You can do that. You will get, again, I like that sometimes. You'll get 24/7 access. Coach, who cares? Monthly body scans. Support the AF app. Okay, not appointment, app. Okay. All right, so we're done with that section now. All right, so we're good with that. Again, you can make this as fancy as you want. You are character limited on the headline. I would imagine that you would want to make this pretty short because it's what's in bold right here. So you don't want it to be too wordy. So click next. Okay, you can now allow multiple entries. We don't want to do that. Okay, there are people right here that will add qualifying questions like, what goal are you looking to achieve? What made you reach out to us in the first place? I think that's all fine and good. I don't think it's going to increase your conversion, honestly. I really don't. It might make them remember the ad so that when they come in, they're like, oh, I saw your ad on Facebook. But in our experience, none of this makes any difference on conversion. So you can use this default thing description. Please answer the below questions. When I do it, I do first things first. That's what I do. I don't know. I like that. So you need to have first name, last name, email, not full name, and phone number. Do not make anything optional. Make it all required. If you do full name here and you pull it through ClubOS, it will not load properly, at least unless they've changed it. So first name, last name, email, and phone number. You can add categories here. You can add all kinds of different questions like date of birth, are you married? You can do all kinds of stuff. And then national ID number clearly does not apply to us. So those are the questions that we run with. You're going to go next. I've already got it in here. You must provide a link to a privacy policy. So use any times. Just go to the website and pull it. You can leave this exactly like it says. You can add a custom disclaimer. I don't think that's necessary. Next. Ending. Awesome. You're done. Click below to book your appointment. Okay. You got options here. Go to a website, view file, call the business, chat on WhatsApp. Probably never going to use chat on WhatsApp. If you click this, it's going to give you an option to put in your phone number, and they can click the button and it'll say call now. And then you can call, they'll call you, right? If they click the button. View file would be great if you were going to do a lead magnet. Like if you were going to say, give us your information and we'll give you XYZ. Like fill out the form and we'll give you a 21-day meal plan. And you want to give them that PDF that Anytime Fitness created, you could do that. In my experience, go to the website is probably the better of the options. I don't have it up on this page. Let me go back here. So I'm going to go to My Club, Commerce. Schedule an appointment. Okay. Just copy the whole web link, paste it in there, and then book your appointment. You can start conversations on Messenger. I don't think that's very successful. So when you're done, you can click create form. Let me just make sure here. Oh, okay. So if you've ever gotten lead forms before and you get trash information, you can turn off autofill. Facebook automatically inputs the information in each of those name, phone number, and email things if they have it. If you turn this off, the number of leads that you're going to get is going to go way down. But the number of leads that you get that are real information is going to go up, sort of. Well, not necessarily. But you will definitely not get any of them that are trash unless they intentionally fill it out that way. I would not turn it off. People don't expect to have to input that stuff on Facebook. So, and then here, this is the only other place you would do that too. And you could change the language here, but I don't think we need to do that. All right, so create the form. Oh, of course it already exists. Test DNU. All right, so next, create. Okay, so here's the really crappy part about Facebook. Once you create this form, if you misspell something, you cannot edit it. It's done. It's dumb. I know it's stupid. So the only way to fix it is to duplicate it and then edit it, right? You can archive the old ones, but you can't edit anything existing. So you can move away. You can see down here, I had Hello Gym Lead Magnet 2 back from 2020. We did a little stint with them. I will tell you that it was not very successful. So I'm going to go ahead and archive that one, archive that one, archive that one. Okay. Require SMS verification to submit form. Don't do that. Again, they won't fill out the lead. You can chat with leads through Messenger. Again, I wouldn't even bother. They're either going to come in or they're not. The ones who are going to book an appointment are going to be the most likely to show up. So I wouldn't bother checking either of those boxes. These are something that we use, the CRM events and website events and things like that, offline events, but you won't be able to for the purposes of this. Okay. So when you get all done with that, you're actually done. You can hit publish. It's going to make me try and put in add payment information because I haven't put any in on this account yet. So when you hit publish, it's going to do this little thing down here where it says like publishing, and it's going to be a status bar. And then it's going to go back out to this page. And it's going to show, instead of in draft, it's going to show like in review or something along that lines. I do want to address something that happens very frequently with this type of campaign because it's an issue, and I want to make sure that you guys have all of the information that you need. So there are errors that will happen. What will happen is you'll publish the form, Facebook will review it, and an error will pop up. It's really, really annoying, but it's pretty easy to fix. So let's say that this came up and it says disabled is what it says, right? Let's say disabled right here. Usually there's a little thing and it's like you can hover over it and it'll say fix error and it'll show you what the error is. 9 times out of 10, it's the same error. So what you're going to do is click edit. Okay, remember you've got campaign, ad set, and ad. Usually it's at the ad level. It will show up over here on the right-hand side. There will actually be a space in between campaign score and the ad preview. And in between that space, it'll say something like image not found. That's one. Asset unavailable. We've seen ones that say like, we were unable to publish your post. Please try again. Okay. Well, you know that stupid thing where the tech support guy tells you to unplug the modem and plug it back in just to restart it, and that's what fixes it? Well, that's kind of what fixes this too, unfortunately. So what you're going to do is come over here. If you get one of those if you get one of those errors at the ad level right here, if you get an error at the campaign level or the ad set level, you got other problems. There's other things that are wrong. So, but if you get an ad level error, you can click these three little dots right here. Quick duplicate. That's what we're going to choose. Okay. Now you got V1 copy and V1. This is the old one. This is going to have already been published. I'm going to move my little screen here. But over here, V1 will be turned off like this. It'll say not delivering instead of in draft. Say not delivering. And then you've got the copy. You can leave it just as copy as you want. We use this type of nomenclature to let us know. So we do like 1.1 or 1.2, whatever you want to do, right? And then you're going to just go down and hit publish. 99% of the time, that will solve the errors. It's just some weird glitch from Meta. I can't tell you why, but that's what it does. So now, at the moment, I have shown you everything that you need to know to build these ads. You should see it pop up here. Again, you got campaign level, ad set level, and ads. What you're going to see is it defaults to columns performance. That's not going to show you everything that I would say is useful, but you're going to have whether the ad is running, you're going to have the name. As long as this is green right here on the, and it says active on the campaign, you should be okay. The other telltale sign is under amount spent. You will have dollars starting to show up. It's going to spend your money. Now this one, it's showing is ongoing. I thought I changed that, but maybe I didn't. So under the ad set level, oh, it's because it didn't publish. That's why. Sorry. If I was able to publish it because I had billing information on file, then it would let me do that. So here's what you're going to see. You're going to see bid strategy highest volume. You're going to see budget. That's what you're spending every day. If you want to edit that manually, you can do it right here and then just click save. It'll be save, not save to draft, but you can change it right there. Your attribution setting is going to be normal. You don't change that. Results right here, it's going to say Facebook lead or just leads, depending. And if you get any, it'll have a 1 or a 2 or a 10 or a 15 or a whatever it might be, right? It's all going to show up there. After this, there are things that might be useful for you to know, but for the purposes of this particular tutorial, I'm not going to show it there. So sorry. If you want some of these extra insights and things like that, you're going to need to refer 5 of your friends and get access to that webinar. So we look forward to meeting you on there. Like I said, this is not a sales pitch for us. This is showing you how to do it. We are going to provide some basic audience building. So beyond just the radius targeting, we're going to provide information on how to build lookalike audiences correctly to actually provide value. And then we're going to show some other tips and tricks and stuff that you can't really do on a format like this, but need to be done in person. We're also going to have a live question and answer session. And so we hope that you take advantage of that. And we hope that we see you there. So if you've got any questions, you can feel free to email me at the email below. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you find it very helpful. And this is going to remain up so you can come back and review this over and over again if you like. Okay? Thanks so much.